All right, today we're diving into a project that is so ambitious, it honestly feels like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. But this story is very, very real, and it all kicks off with one singular, incredibly complex vision. So, take a look at this. On the one hand, you've got this super polished, patriotic business logo. You know, the eagle, the stars and stripes. It looks professional, very American. But then, on the other hand, you have this mythic, almost godlike figure just emerging from the cosmos. These two images really represent the two different worlds of one massive project, and the story of the man trying to build them both at the exact same time. So, who's the mastermind behind this? The person at the very center of this universe? Well, his name is Stephen Hill. He's from Red Oak, Texas. And let's just say his self-perception is every bit as grand as his vision. Hill doesn't just see himself as an entrepreneur. No. He sees himself as a, and I quote, builder of systems, worlds, and galaxies. You can tell right away, this isn't just some business plan for him. This is a creation myth, and he's the architect. But, and this is a big but, the reality of building a universe can be surprisingly, well, down to earth. Yeah, because while he's busy designing entire galaxies, he's also stressing about having enough money for food and rent. Think about that. He's poured his own savings into this, gone into debt, and his main income, it's $1,000 a month from Social Security. And he's doing all of this, the entire project, by himself, all while needing to get his teeth fixed. It's this wild collision, right? Cosmic dreams smashing right into the struggles of everyday life. And that's what makes the story just so fascinating. Okay, so let's start with the side of this vision you're meant to see first. The part with that eagle logo. This is the business. The plan designed to rebuild communities from the ground up. It's called the All-American Network, or AAN for short. Now, on paper, it's pretty straightforward. It's a media platform, does advertising, PR, live events. And its mission? It's as patriotic as the logo. Rebuild hometown America. Sounds good, right? But how exactly does he plan to do that? Well, the business model is actually a pretty logical step-by-step process. First, you attract sponsors and partners to get the funding and get the community on board. Then you use that base to bring in local merchants and advertisers. Once you've got that network going, you start recruiting contestants for these big community showcase events. And here's the clever part. The winners don't just get a prize. No, they become role models, brand ambassadors who carry the whole movement forward. Out supporting veteran-owned businesses. The goal is for each one to produce 15 winners every single year, creating this constant flow of new leaders and mentors for the community. Okay, but here's where things get interesting. Because behind this pretty traditional-looking community business, there's something else, something futuristic. The big idea that powers everything is actually super simple but really powerful. Try it before you buy it. And we're not just talking about your average online shopping cart here. This is about creating a truly immersive virtual experience. And this is where the ambition just goes into overdrive. Hill's building something called Magic Mira. It's an AR, VR engine for virtual product try-ons. He's got this idea for Cast in the Cloud, with AI avatars just pumping out commercials 24/7. And to bring all this crazy tech to the people, he's designed Thunder Buses, basically mobile studios that roll right into your town. And all of it is commanded from the Imagination ship, which is steered by, you guessed it, the Wizard of Red Oak himself. Okay, so if you think that sounds big, I need you to buckle up, because we're about to zoom way, way out. The business, the tech, that's just the front door, the entry point into the true scale of this project, the all-American universe. So what we've talked about so far, that's the public network, the media company, the contests, the local businesses, but layered right underneath all of that is the cosmic universe. And this is a sprawling, immersive system of storytelling and archetypes, all structured like a 12-lane highway of 35 interconnected businesses. This is the exact moment the project goes from a business plan to, well, a modern mythology. So what's in this universe? Well, for starters, there's a flagship starship, the USS All-American Enterprise. Of course there is. There are these character archetypes that Hill himself plays, like the wizard and the architect. He's even planning a 24-book sci-fi series to chronicle the whole journey.
It's all guided by this core philosophy he calls wealth is law, and it's all organized into 18 different galaxy lanes for different industries. It is a lot. And right at the very core of this massive, almost metaphysical structure is Hill's ultimate mission, his true identity. He is the man who programmed the soul in the machine. I mean, wow, that's the peak of his ambition right there, to fuse technology and business with something truly human, something transcendent. But after a trip through galaxies and starships and cosmic highways, it's time to bring this all crashing back down to Earth. Because there's one last, and maybe most important, perspective we need to look at. This is the architect's actual immediate to-do list, not launch the USS Enterprise. No, it's earn $20 to $50 an hour doing AI training work. And his first goal with that money, it's not to fund a starship. It's to get his teeth fixed. After that, buy a vehicle. Then update his wardrobe for a makeover. And finally, have enough money to buy Christmas gifts for his team, the few people who are helping him. And that leaves us with this one final thought. The ambition here is it's off the charts. The vision is staggering. But it all hangs on this single, powerful question that really defines the entire struggle and the dream of Stephen Hill. How do you build a universe when you still need to pay the rent?